Hello everyone, welcome back to my Mega Man X3 Part 2 playthrough. And after you beat your first two Mavericks, you get this kinda dragon-ass cutscene introducing us to our three new sub-mini bosses that you'll see kind of like the X-Hunters, except these guys will be, well, two of these guys are mandatory. This is Byte, and the big guy's Byte. You will see these guys in those rooms where there was just like nothing that happened. It looked like a boss room. These guys will somewhat randomly show up in one of those rooms after two Mavericks. To be more specific, Byte, the small one, shows up between your third and fifth Maverick in that room, and Byte shows up in your sixth and eighth Maverick. It could be any of those three. It's pretty random, but it is what it is. And this mysterious Maverick, aka, I think you know who he is, has come back, and he's looking for vengeance, looking for revenge on Mega Man X. He has a score to settle. But nonetheless, he is not mandatory if you don't want to. Although if you want to get the Mega Weapon in this game, you're gonna want to face him and defeat him. And here, Dr. Doppler completely gives up the fact that Sigma is the ultimate bad guy again. Just like Dr. Wily. But after Toxic Seahorse, you will want to go to Tunnel Rhino, and this is probably the hardest Maverick stage of the 8. This stage is brutal. I died a lot in this stage, especially on my test playthrough. Damn, does this level have some hard-hitting enemies and some awkward place enemies, but it is a hard stage. And it's, of course, enemies hit hard, so. But this is Tunnel Rhino. Tunnel Rhino is weak to Toxic Seahorse's weapon. And this stage has a fun little gimmick. You need the Triad Thunder, the charged up version as well, to get 2 power-ups, including that heart tank right there. You think you might need something else, but you won't. I think as I said in part 1, backtracking is, in the route I'm going at minimum, is pretty severe, and honestly, I don't know if there's many reasonable boss orders that you could go into that make backtracking like it was in X2, where it was relatively limited. Right here, a Byte by room, and we got nothing. So no Byte here in the Tunnel Rhinos. But that's okay. These guys absolutely suck. I hate these dudes. They're a pain in the ass. And there's a lot of them in this stage. And they hit hard. So I go and I get any health pellet they're gonna lie around, I'm gonna grab. But yeah, this stage is just, it's brutal. It's probably the hardest Maverick stage in any of the first 3, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe of the entire series potentially. This is a rough stage. It's a tough stage, and we're gonna see some guys in a bit that make it harder after this next mini boss. And I'm an idiot on that one. I had to leave that death, and that was my own stupidity. Don't just fall, people. But here we have a mini boss. Well, this doesn't seem suggestive at all. Nope, not even slightly. You want to hit his upper body. You want to kind of do what I'm doing here. You want to hang to the wall, though if he hits the wall, he will make you drop. But you don't want to go too far up, otherwise he sends his hands up to the ceiling and splits his body in half, and becomes slightly harder to dodge. I wouldn't say it's anything crazy, but it definitely gets a bit tougher. I do not recommend getting behind him. He will try to spike you with his other spike on his butt. Otherwise, he's not that bad. Just hit him with your charge-up shots when you can, and he goes down fairly easily, all things considered. But if he does hit you, he hits pretty hard. More of these assholes. More of these assholes. Those dudes hit hard if you touch them. Contact damage, man. And these guys coming up, you just kind of saw them. These guys right here. If you charge your shot up, they will shoot a charged up bullets at you, and damn do they hit hard as fuck. Yeah, and I died. Yeah, you really would prefer not to charge up your shot there, because they will charge up with you, and they hurt like hell. Again, this stage, pretty damn difficult. But we're getting close to the end here. As we get to, finally we get to Tunnel Rhino. And Tunnel Rhino, is honestly a boss you could take on first. He really isn't that hard, even without his weakness. He's definitely one that I could recommend saying, yeah, you might want to take him on first. You have to be a little careful, because sometimes he will do a try a trick you. He won't come hit all the wall. I don't know what happened there. Won't come all the way back to the wall, and will try and right there. He will do that, and if you're not careful, he will catch you off guard and hit you. When he's multicolored like that, he is invincible, so you gotta be careful on that. He won't even take damage from the acid burst or acid splash or whatever the hell it's called. Ooh, but yeah, honestly, he's pretty easy. He's honestly a good candidate for going first. And if you do that, then if you take him on first, it's actually then you can actually go and get the ride armor situation if you want the ride armor early. That might not be something you might not want to think about doing. That's a bad sentence. Might be something you think about doing is what I was trying to say. But with it, you get the Tornado Fang, and it works similar to the Frost Shield, except it doesn't hit, if it hits something, it doesn't put something on the ground. It's slow. It's useless other than against Volt Catfish, which is our next Maverick here in Dr. Doppler's area. Volt Catfish, his level is not nearly as hard as Tunnel Rhino, but you don't want to get caught off guard because there is things that can hit you and hit you pretty hard. Oh dear. This battle's not bad, but I definitely understand where people say the soundtrack is real samey at times, because this, to me, sounds very similar to Tunnel Rhino's, at least at first listen. I mean, you can definitely hear the differences if you listen to them, but I get where people are coming from. I think I mentioned that last part, but fuck it, I want to mention it again. Although this part of the song's pretty cool. I like that part of the song. I think that's a pretty badass part, honestly. But yeah, so this is a Volt Catfish stage. A lot of enemies, a lot of. It's not as bad as Tunnel Rhinos, not by a long shot. But here, don't go left yet. Go all the way up, and you can go ahead and find your next hard tank. This looks scarier than it actually is, but if you have the dash boots, it's not bad at all. Just keep your wits about you, grab your heart tank, and go. Not too bad, not too bad. You got these guys here. Just you know, you're probably gonna take some pot shots. It is what it is. Just keep on moving here as we move up the elevator. Here, you could also keep going up here, but you won't be able to do anything, unfortunately, because you need another Mavericks weapon for that, and we ain't gonna get that one for a while. But when we do, I'll let you know. Actually, I'll just show it off later on. All right, we're going to a mini boss section. This is I think the Byte room, and we got Bit. All right, so Bit came in the 4th stage, and the biggest thing with Bit that you want to keep in mind is he is quick, but he's not. His pattern isn't that hard. He will throw these rings at you. They will keep you in one spot, basically freeze you in all intents and purposes. So you want to be careful of that. But you also throw these fireballs here that will home at you for a little while. You want to be careful of that. Ultimately, what you want to do is what you're seeing here is get him to jump and dash across the screen. without taking hits and just take your pot shots. Because he is going to send those out from time to time. You're probably going to get called in them like I did here. And that's the problem, is that you just can't move. As he gets in the under half health, he starts throwing 2 fireballs or 2 of those ring things. You have to be a little careful with that. They become a little bit harder to dodge. I actually struggle here in a little bit with the rings. There's 2 rings here, and I actually get kind of just discombobulated a little bit there. Had to be careful. So Bit's gonna stay alive because I didn't defeat him with his weakness. That's right, Bit and Byte, and even Vile, you can be in with their weakness and you can permanently destroy them, and that does change things in the Doppler Fortress stages. We'll talk about that later on, but I did not kill him, so I got a feeling we'll be seeing him again. But I do like that aspect of it, that you can actually kill them right then and now with their special weakness, or leave them alive, and it does change some things later on. If you go up here, there will be riot armor, but you can't get it unless you have this certain one first, the Chimera one first. Here, that was funny. I knew I was close to death, so I was going to take it easy, but then I dashed right into the electric spark, so I was just like, whatever. Luckily, your checkpoint's right after the Byte room, so, or Bit Byte room, so I decided to not edit past that because there's no real point. It's been 2 seconds of editing. But yeah, so you can shoot through walls, take advantage of that here. Those little guys there, if you just beat their, kill their horns but leave them alive, they get like all electric and stuff, and they become a little bit weird. I don't know if they become invincible, but they become a little harder to hit. That was kind of a dickhead move there. Kind of a dickhead placement, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? But we're getting close to the boss here. We've got one more section here to go up. Do we have another mini-boss? Maybe we have another mini-boss first. I feel like we might have another mini-boss first. I don't remember now. I don't think we do. I think we're getting close to the boss. Yep, we are at the boss room. We are at Bull Catfish. And if you don't have his weakness, he's probably one of the hardest mavericks you can fight. He is pretty rough. But if you have a Tornado Fang, and you do it properly, which I'm not great with, but it doesn't almost matter, he becomes super easy. Just like a lot of these bosses in this game. The difference between using the weakness versus using your Buster only is incredible. And, you know, most of these Mavericks, if you use their weakness, just don't give you much of a challenge. They're almost, it's almost arguable they're too easy, if I'm being honest. And Bull Catfish, when he gets to sometime under half health, will make it even easier for you. He just jumps in the middle of the room instead of jumping to the left or right. And it becomes super easy to hit him with his weakness. He's ridiculously easy with his weakness. Again, not a Maverick you should take on first because he is brutally hard and hits like a truck, and you have very little health in the beginning. Not recommended for your first Maverick. But with his weakness, he goes down like a bitch. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You probably get the not a bad weapon, I would say, but it's not bad, but it's not great either. The Triad Thunder, it's useful. It's definitely you probably over any of the other weapons we've gotten so far, probably more useful than them that we've gotten so far. And honestly, it's like a lot of the weapons in this game, as I mentioned before. They're pretty blah. Definitely weaker than X and X2. But next is Crush Crawfish. And another Maverick that I wouldn't recommend taking on first. Oh no. But this one actually has all your upgrades are going to be in the beginning. But unless you don't have the right stuff, you can't grab them. This is what it is. As a matter of fact, right here, there's some cracks in the wall. I decided to show you that you can't just defeat it with Tornado Fang. You have to have a ride armor, which I don't have at the moment, or have access to. This is another bit room. Byte won't show up if it's the 5th Maverick, even if you beat Bit already. He just won't show up until at that 6th Maverick spot. If you go down here, or not right here, excuse me, right here, that's a false floor there. You can actually go down to Vial again. There's 3 spots with Vial. This one's one of them. Blizzard Buffalo's one, and then there is one in the Catfish's stage. Volt Catfish. I don't think I mentioned that. I don't remember if I did or not, but yeah. That is the only 3 spots you can find them, and you can come back to defeated bosses and go find Vial, but you want to do it before you defeat the 8th Maverick. If you defeat the 8th Maverick before you defeat Vial, then you can't go fight Vial in that special area. And if you want the special weapon, you want to fight and destroy Vial with his weakness. But we'll get into Vial later. Right now, this stage, a lot of those enemies, especially on top, I come down to the bottom to try and avoid as much as I can, relatively speaking. You're still gonna fight a lot of enemies. If you don't want to fight those spike dudes, I maybe not recommend. Maybe you don't want to go the bottom route. It doesn't really matter, honestly. This is a mini boss to shoot that engine a couple times, and end up flipping the stage. Kind of now it becomes a bit more vertical before the boss room. I think this is actually a pretty clever touch. I like that idea. I thought this was pretty cool, to be honest with you. This just seems pretty cool. But now we are at Crush Crawfish, and he is the hardest Maverick to fight, even with his weakness. He doesn't get reset with when you hit him with it. He does take a little bit of knockback, but he's incredibly hard, and he hits so fucking hard, man. Those things you saw on the wall will send you down to the ground. They won't keep you in one spot necessarily, but they will take you off the wall, because going up the wall is a good thing. I would recommend bringing 2 full sub tanks if you can in this battle, because man, he is hard even with his weakness. I'm probably not fighting him great, admittedly, and I think I took a bullshit ass hit there. But you need to be careful, because contact damage is super high with this boss, and he will contact you. That move right there, you can actually shoot your weapon off eventually if you get lucky and hurt him, so it stops that attack. But he does go down after a little while. He does take a lot of damage to the Triad Thunder. That is his weakness, but even with his weakness, he's pretty damn hard. Again, not one I would recommend first by any stretch of the imagination, unless you love a good challenge. But with it, you get probably the best weapon in the game, but also one of the more peculiar ones, the spinning blades. I think it seems like it does most damage to enemies at times, and more important, but it's weird because it shoots forward and then it goes backwards. So you have to keep that in mind when you shoot it, but it's honestly probably the best weapon in the game. Not that that's saying a whole lot. But that has been part 2. Make sure you join me for part 3 as we finish off the 3 Mavericks, go after Byte, and take it to Vial. Until then, deuces.